How we doing, everybody? This is That Our Nerd back at it again with another algebra tutorial. This one today is it covers dividing with polynomials, and that includes our long division here. So what we have is we have a polynomial on the top, and we also have a polynomial on the bottom. And so what we do is this stuff in the top we put underneath our little division sign, and then our divisor we put on the outside. And so probably the most common mistake that I see with these long division problems is that you have to have every power in decreasing order all the way down when you write it down here. So we have 4x to the fourth, right? So we have x to the fourth power, but we can't just leave out x cubed, right? It goes x to the fourth, x squared. We can't just leave that out. That'd be no good at all. So what we do is we say that there are zero x cubed, right? Because we don't have any. So that would be plus 0 x cubed. So we're adding no x cubed to this. Then we have x squared, so we can leave that 52x squared. We need an x to the first power, or just an x, right? No x up here, so we say we have plus 0x. And finally, we have our number plus 144. That same thing applies for our divisor here, what we're dividing by. But for this one, we have x squared, x, and 12, so we don't need to add any zeros here. So we'll just have 2x squared plus 2x minus 12. So now our first step for these division problems is we're going to take the first number in our I don't even remember what it's called, dividend. Our first number in our dividend, and we divide it by the first term in our divisor. So we'll take 4x to the fourth divided by 2x squared. 2 divided by 4 is 2. X to the fourth divided by x squared is x squared. So our first term in our answer is going to be 2x squared. Just for cleanliness, I like to put whatever power it is. So we have x squared for this. I like to put it above whatever power it is in our dividend. So we have x squared. I'll put it above the x squared. So 2x squared. And now we multiply this 2x squared by each term in our divisor. So we'll take 2x squared times 2x squared, and that'll give us 4x squared. 4x to the fourth, I should say. And then we have 2x squared times 2x. So that'll give us a plus 4x cubed. We have a 2x squared times negative 12. So 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. And then we have our x squared. Another important thing we have to do is we subtract. So this is just like long division where you multiply, you get the number, and then you subtract. But we have to subtract this whole thing, not just this first term here, right? We're subtracting everything. So 4x to the fourth minus 4x to the fourth. That's 0x to the fourth. And that's how you know you got it right. If you subtract the 2 and it's not 0, you did something wrong. So then our next one, we have 0x cubed minus 4x cubed. So that'd be a minus 4x cubed. We have negative 52x squared minus negative 52x squared. Right, so this is going to be negative 52x, or negative 52 plus 24. Forgot what that is. Calculate this. That should be negative 28. Negative 28x squared. My 8s are so hideous. Okay, so that's the first step. Next step is pretty similar. What we do is we take our first term, and now this is what we're trying to divide by. So we take negative 4x cubed, and we divide by the first term in our divisor. So 2x squared. All right, basically what this is accomplishing is we're trying to see how many times does 2x squared fit into this number here. Okay, so negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. x cubed divided by x squared is x. So negative 2x minus 2x. So now we rinse and repeat, right? We go through the same process. We do negative 2x times 2x squared. That'll leave us with a negative 4x cubed. Also, we should probably just bring down the rest of the stuff from earlier, right? So plus 0x plus 144. Okay, so then we have negative 2x times a positive 2x. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. X times x is x squared. And finally, we have negative 2x times negative 12. So negative 2 times negative 12 is a positive 24. So positive 24. And then we have our x there. Again, we subtract these two polynomials. So we'll do negative 4x cubed minus negative 4x cubed. All right, so that goes to 0. Negative 28x squared minus negative 4x squared. So that's negative 28x squared plus 4x squared, right? So that would be negative 24x squared. And we have 0x minus 24x. So that'd be a minus 24x. And again, we'll drop this plus 144 at the end. Drop our plus 144. Okay, we do this one last time, right? Because x squared can still fit into x squared. Well, I guess no, we won't see. So if this were x squared and this was x, it would no longer fit in there, right? And so you'd be done, and this would be a remainder, but not for this one. So we'll take our negative 24. That is a really big negative sign. Negative 24x squared divided by 2x squared. So negative 24 divided by 2 is negative 12. X squared divided by x squared is 1. So we'll just leave it as negative 12. Negative 12, so then we multiply our negative 12 by each term of our divisor. So we have negative 12 times 2x squared. Well, negative 12 times 2 is negative 24. And then we have our x squared. For our next multiplication, we do negative 12 times 2x. That's going to be a negative 24x. And then we have negative 12 times negative 12. That'll give us a positive 144. If we subtract these two polynomials, negative 24x squared minus negative 24x squared, that's 0. Negative 24x minus negative 24x is 0. And 144 minus 144 is 0. So these are all 0. So there's no remainder for this one, and this is the final answer. 2x squared minus 2x minus 12. For the next video, I'm going to go over an example that has a remainder. So make sure to click the link and go watch that video if you have any questions about what to do with remainders. Make sure to like this video if you found it of help so other people can see it. Subscribe if you want to see more incredible algebra videos similar to this one. And have a spectacular day.